The summer of love was over. The 60s ended with Charles Manson and his family bringing a new, dark perspective to the ideal of free hippie life. The Vietnam War continued to rage on under the Nixon government. Advances in technology had allowed man to walk on the moon. American cinema was also changing in the wake of Easy Rider, as young radical filmmakers started to replace the Hollywood old school, and the horror genre was no exception. In 1968, George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead brought horror home in graphic detail. Gone were the creatures from outer space and monsters from Eastern European folklore. Night of the Living Dead was not set in some distant past in some far-off land. The threat? Flesh-eating human beings attacking the modern American home. The violence lingering and visceral. The climax inconclusive, stubbornly refusing to provide the audience with a satisfactory resolution to help them sleep at night. Night of the Living Dead was an enormous success on the drive-in and midnight movie circuits, and set a precedent for the genre from which there was no turning back. The emphasis now was on the contemporary attack on the American dream. Young, vital filmmakers were eager to depict their visions of a dysfunctional America, and horror was the perfect milieu for that metaphor. Drive-in screens across the U.S. were flooded with this new wave in low-budget horror cinema. In 1972, a collaboration between Sean S. Cunningham, who would go on to direct the popular slasher prototype Friday the 13th, and Wes Craven of Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream fame, would bring horror inside the harmony and safety of the middle American home with The Last House on the Left. In this case, the violence was arguably as hardcore as had ever been depicted in cinema. In Last House, there are no living dead cannibals, just a gang of criminals hell-bent on a rampage of rape, murder, and dismemberment. The elimination of the supernatural from the horror film. Interestingly, the final showdown features death by chainsaw.